Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah.
Good afternoon, Source Nation, and welcome to SRN Live Television. First of all, you're in the spotlight with me. Yes, in the spotlight with Teresa Hannah. I tell you, I am so excited today. My heart is overjoyed. Have a very special guest that I'm getting ready to introduce you to. But first, I want to do just a little bit of business for Source Radio Network, who is now also SRN Live Television. That's right. We are now not only radio, but live TV. And I want to take this opportunity, first of all, to do two very important things. I want to thank our very important sponsors who have made this show so possible. And they are Paper 2 Film Productions, Renovations, Meet My Types, Matchmaking, Revolution Meals, New Covenant of Praise Worship Center, a shout out to Pastor Kenny Smith, and Zuliano Health, Wellness, and Fitness. And we're just so excited to introduce you our sponsors. I tell you that. Now, I'm going to switch over, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my special guest. He is a man that we all love and admire. He is, in fact, Dr. Bobby Jones. He is, in fact, the legend. He is, in fact, the ambassador whose triumphant career has spanned multi-decades, placing him firmly in the spotlight. And I'm so glad he's in the spotlight here with me. He is a singer and band leader. Dr. Bobby Jones is known affectionately as the Ed Sullivan of gospel music. Many of you who are old know that Ed Sullivan was the first person that had his own variety TV show. I believe it was on CBS. It may have been NBC, but he was the man back in the day. So Dr. Jones has helped to launch the careers of many, many, many gospel stars. And his Nashville home has proof of that because it's just simply lined with trophies for his many contributions to music. He is, in fact, an innovator. He is, in fact, a legend. But mostly, and I love this about him, he is a man who loves our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, yet he is humble, he is gentle, he's very wise, y'all. And he has love in his heart for our God. And he has a strong determination to serve our God. Those are all virtues that we all want. So without further ado, my friend, Dr. Bobby Jones.
Well, hello there. Thank you for such a nice introduction. Thank you for such a nice introduction.
It's true. It is so true. It is so true,
Well,
Dr. Jones. Are you having a good day?
Oh, yeah, so far. Yeah, I'm in the state of Florida today.
Wow.
Yeah, looking at all the greenery and stuff, down here. And getting ready to do some more work. Huh?
I said you went without me. That's okay.
Yeah, you know what? I'll have to pick you up the next time.
All right. I'll hold you to that. I want to start this interview a little bit out, talking about your humble beginnings, because many people out there, especially young people, who may be in those similar situations, growing up in a rural Tennessee farming community, trying to figure out who they are. Can you share a little bit about your humble beginnings that will also help, others out there to know, hey, Dr. Jones did this, I can do it too.
You called it the humble beginnings?
Yes, humble beginnings.
I think
humble.
It may be a little bit less than that. I come from a small town in western Tennessee, and it wasn't even a town. It's the country. It was called Henry, Tennessee. Very, very small population. We were farmers, and we sharecropped, as you call it then. That's what my dad did. So, that was an interesting experience for me, to say the least. And I lived there until I was 11 years old, and then we moved to a larger city, and that was called Paris, Tennessee.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's where I grew up and was able to, finish high school there when I was 15 and went to Tennessee State University and got my bachelor's degree when I was 19 and started teaching. And that's kind of a little quick way to tell you where I came from and where I went,
Okay. Now, also, when you were in Nashville, you sang with your church choir. Also said that you always had grand ambitions. And, that just kind of struck me because I'm wondering, how many people actually have thoughts like that?
With the church choir?
Uh-huh.
Before I started doing that, I taught myself how to play the piano. And after that, I played with 3 fingers and began to play for the Sunday school of a church there. It was advertised on the radio that they needed someone to play the piano. So I told my aunt, I'm going to try out for it. And believe me, they hired me. And I played 3 songs. Jesus Keep Me Near the Cross was one of them. Okay.
Wow.
And that's how I started singing with the choir. Yeah. So that was in my early years, while I was going to school. That's how I paid my way through college. How about that?
That's amazing. And speaking about early years, there's a particular song that I love that you do from your Just Church, and it's called God Gave Me a Song. And I think it's about that so much about you and how God actually did give you not just one song, but several. Tell us a little bit about the song that just kind of strikes you or lets you know how God was leading your life.
Well, I love that song as well. It was written, I think, by a girl named Myrna Summers, and she was out of Washington, D.C. And I was living in St. Louis when I first heard it on the radio, and it just stuck with me. So when I put a group together, and we started singing, then I used that song and finally had Myrna on the show to sing the song with her. And it was so applicable to what it was that I was doing. God gave me a song that the angels can't sing. I've been redeemed. The Lord has been so good to me, and all those other lyrics that go with it kind of matched my position. So that's why I'm glad you like that, Teresa. Thank you.
I love that. And as a matter of fact, we're going to listen to it right now. God Gave Me a Song. This is Bobby Jones from his Just Church.
All right. Thank you. Let's break it.
That the angels cannot sing, no. in the blood of the crucified one. I've been redeemed. Hey, hey, yes. The Lord has been so good to me. He's opened doors I could not see. Sometimes when I am feeling low, no one to tell, no place to go. My Father is rich in houses and land. He holds the power of the world in his hand. Let me sing it, y'all. Hey, hey. Gave me a song. Oh, yeah. I've been washing the blood of the crucified one. I've been redeemed. How many of you been redeemed tonight? Hey, the Lord has been so good to me. He's opened doors I could not see. Hey. Sometimes when I am feeling low, no one to tell, no place to go. My Father is rich in houses and land. He holds the power in his hand. Sing it, Tony, now. God gave me a song. That the angels cannot sing. They sure can sing. I've been washed in the blood by the crucified one. I've been redeemed. Oh, the Lord has been so good to me. He's opened doors I could not see. Sometimes when I am feeling low, no one to care, no place to go. My Father is rich in houses and land. He holds the power of the world in his hand. He holds the power in his hand. He holds the power in his hand. God holds the power. He holds the power in his hand. He holds the power. He holds the power in his hand. In the palm of his hand. Let me hold now. Yeah. Power, Lord. Holy Ghost power. Holy Ghost power. Healing power. Delivering power. Power to walk right. Power to talk right. Power to sing right. Power to stay right. You give it to me. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh, bless your name. What's up, pal?
You know what I done now? The Nashville Super Choir. The New Light Singers. Under the direction of Mr. Nathan Young.
All right. Yes. God.
All right. That
Yeah.
took me back. That took me back. And guess what? The lady that introduced the song is sitting right here next to me. Merdine Gales.
Oh, Mercy.
Yeah. Yeah, Merdine.
I said, hey.
Yeah, she hears you. She hears you.
Oh,
She said,
all right. Beautiful.
back at you,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Yes, we all know. We all know. Okay. All right. Now, we're in Nashville, Tennessee, okay? And you have left Paris. Now, you've gone through college, played piano, and then all of a sudden, you began to launch on WSMTV, the National Gospel
Right.
Show, and to highlight singers from churches and groups, not only from the Nashville area, but it began coming from all over America.
Yeah, they did. The girl who sang the last part of that song is from Davidson, Michigan. It's right outside of Flint. And Beverly Crawford is from Florida. She was from Gainesville. And Angela Prim was from Indianapolis. And those were the New Light singers at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there was a special time when a man by the name of Robert L. Johnson called you up and
Yes,
said,
he
what about
did.
doing a show on network on BET? Tell us about that.
Well, I had two guys that was working with me when we were at Channel 4, and they took the show down where the television people were looking for different kind of shows. And Bob Johnson was there, and he saw my show. And he called and asked, he was looking for something to go on a black television network because there wasn't that many things out there then, you know, for black people.
That's right.
And
That's right.
he saw us and called me and said he'd like to do Bobby, would you like to be on my cable network? And I didn't know what the cable network was, but I said, yes, sir. You know, anything to get out of Nashville. And so that was the beginning of Bobby Jones Gospel on BET.
That was the beginning of an explosion.
Yeah, and what we didn't say in the interim was that you and I had a show together called Nashville Gospel. And that started in Nashville, of course.
Yes.
And we started in 1976 and went till 1980, I believe it was, about 4 years. And then that's when I started Bobby Jones Gospel.
That's right. And then when that happened, that truly brought recognition to gospel music artists from all over the world. People like Yolanda and Kirk Franklin. And then you began to welcome gospel established stars like Albertina Walker, Shirley Caesar. The name goes on and on. I'll kind of let you comment on that.
Yeah, it was rich. I mean, you know, I didn't know those people, you know. I had heard some of them on the radio, but I had no idea that they would be coming to do a television show, of which we started. And it was interesting, and many of those people who are very popular right now were exposed on that show on BET.
That's right.
Yep.
And, you know, Bobby Jones Gospel was one of the longest-running programs on cable. How did you really feel when you decided to retire? I believe it was in July of 2016. Did you feel like, oh, I'm so glad it's over?
Oh, no. No. I didn't feel like that. You know, I was kind of saddened. I made the decision to retire, and I'm glad I did. But it was not an easy decision to make. I did not feel happy about it because I enjoyed so much what I was doing. The only consolation I had was that I had another television show running on another network simultaneously. So that kept me in the business of what I enjoyed doing. And since I left BET, all of that has gone away. There is no more BET in D.C. They moved to New York and California. And so it was like the Lord said, okay, it's time for you to go because we're going to change our situation. And now I'm having one of the greatest times of my life as well with this Impact TV network that I'm doing.
That's where I wanted to move next. What are you doing now? I know you're hosting a weekly radio countdown show. You're still producing TV shows for, and I believe it's Impact, and then there are other things you're involved in. So kind of share with us about that. Yeah,
well, traveling around the country, talking to people about the gospel music industry, hosting a variety of gospel-oriented programs. Like that's where I'm on my way now to host another one of those type of shows so that we can listen to new artists and give them an opportunity to participate on television because only the recording artists basically get called for that. So we still have a platform where we service new artists and they can come and sing on our show and eventually they get known, just like Kirk Franklin and Yolanda and the rest of those who came to me when I was on BET. How about that?
Excellent. I like that. You know, I've always had a love for independence as well. I think that's excellent. Please don't stop.
Well, with Nashville Gospel, it's what you and Tommy Lewis did. Y'all brought new artists on and introduced them to the country. So, you know, we had a similar pattern there.
Yes, we did. You know, some noteworthy things from your career, and I'm thinking that maybe the high point of your career was the winning of the Grammy with Barbara Mandrell for the song I'm So Glad I'm Standing Here Today. And I just kind of wanted you to, you know, share with us, too, a little bit about how you felt about that.
Well, you know, it was a surprise, to be honest with you. And it was one of the highlights of my career. And that was in 1984, Teresa. And Barbara Mandrell was such a wonderful personality. She had never won a Grammy before, and she had a number one television show in America. She was a great star. And for her to come and do that song with us, and then together we won that Grammy Award, it was an elevation in my attitude, believe me. And it was like, God said so, and there we were with that one. And then we won a Dove Award from that as well, and just kept going and kept going, And so BET gave me a big honor, so thank God for it,
You know what? Let's stop right there and let's take a listen to I'm So Glad I'm Standing Here Today. This is also one of my favorites from you.
Well, this is the song we won the Grammy for.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Let's take a listen to it right now. Source Nation, let's listen to Bobby Jones. I'm so glad I am standing here today. Bobby Jones and New Life.
Well, thank you, Teresa.
Quite welcome.
There were times I remember I had to fight just to hold my head. Those were times, my friend, they tried to make a fool of me. There were things my heart was done that they just couldn't see. Oh no, son said that I was so glad. My mind tangled in the night, but strong hearts, they just keep on going. That is why I'm standing here today. Yes, I am. Come together, raise up your voices. This time I saw the love and light won't go away. I'll stay forever here in the sunshine. I've lived to see the sun break through the storm. I'm so glad I'm standing here today. Ooh. If your love are in trouble and this world just seems to forget you, you just remember God's blessing even in your darkest days. You are what your heart says. You got your way. You know what, Emily? Someone said that I was hopeless. They said we were hopeless. Our minds tangled in the night. Tangled in the night. But strong hearts, people like you, they keep on going. Keep on going. And that is why we're here in Dayton tonight. Y'all come together. Raise up your voices. This time I saw the love and light won't go away. I'm gonna sing forever. I'll sing forever. Here in the sunshine. Hallelujah. I live to see the sun break through the storm. And I'm so glad I'm standing
All right, beautiful. You are listening to In the Spotlight with Teresa Hannah on the Source Radio Network live television, and we're so happy to kind of listen to Bobby. So glad standing here today. Bobby, it's beautiful.
Well, thank you, Teresa. Let's go back for a second. At the beginning of the show, you introduced me as Ambassador Dr. Bobby Jones. I just wanted to let you know where that ambassador name came from. I went to an island called Dominica in the West Indies, of course, and they invited me down there for a Creole festival. It's what I thought. And I was there with about 6 other television personalities, including a lady from As the World Turned, and so many of them. I can't think of the other ones. And they wanted me to become an ambassador for their nation to help them with economic development and tourism. And so I became the ambassador of Dominica, and that's been 9 years now that I've worked with those people on that island. A lot of people think ambassador means the ambassador of gospel music, but I have a real ambassadorship for that particular
Wow.
nation.
Well, congratulations.
Okay. Did you know
Congratulations. Yes, I didn't quite understand it as fully as I do now, but I knew it was official.
Okay.
I knew that. We've been talking about some high points, in your career, and I wanted to go and I want you to share a little bit about a low point that was in your life, and that had to do with being raised with your father and in a abusive situation with him. And I remember when I was reading your bio and, kind of heard some of the things that you had to say. One of the things that you said that was so encouraging that I want us all to know is that we can rise above it, because there are people today who are in relationships that are abusive, whether it's a husband who's abusive to the wife, or if there is a dad in the home who's abusive to his wife or his family. And I just wanted you to share with us a little bit about that.
Well, when we were growing up in a rural area that I told you about earlier, we were sharecroppers. And on the weekend, my father was always getting a little high
Yes,
off of liquor, as I should say. We didn't even know what other drugs were at the time. But I wasn't physically abused. It was mental, because he would talk to us in such bad language and didn't support us as a father should have. And so the abuse came that way. You can be abused in more than one way. Some people are abused by being beaten or hit on or something like that, where it's physical abuse. But this was mental abuse that he did with us. And we had to leave him after a while. I was 11 years old, and I told my mother we need to leave this environment, and she agreed with me. So we left the small town of Henry and went to Paris, and that was because of my father's abuse. So he abused alcohol, and that was really a sad situation for us. But we overcame it, and finally we got back with him after years of being separated, and he asked us to forgive him, and we did. And so it turned out to be a good thing as far as our relationship was concerned after all. I'm glad you asked me about that, because a lot of kids are abused by parents, and you need to know that you can overcome,
Yes, you can. And you can rise above it.
Yeah. So thanks for asking about that.
No problem. And, I remember one year I had a chance to interview your mom, a beautiful soul. And I think one of the questions I asked her, Bobby, I said, do you love him? Talking about you. Do you love your son? And she looked at me so stern, and she put her hands on her hips, and she said, I love him. And it was what I was trying to get from her as a mom. And it was so wonderful. And I remember that we had a chance to air it on Bobby Jones Gospel. It just pleased me so much. And then you called me and you told me how sweet you were.
Well, yeah, we were like one. I mean, my mother and I had a great relationship. And when I lost, that was a page out of my life that I can never replace.
Yeah. Understand.
Yeah.
Yes. Dr. Jones, you have just led a very successful life for God. And one of the other statements that I thought was so profound was when you said why you do what you do. You said, I do this for Jesus. So I just want you to comment on that, because there are people out there that God has given a calling to, and they may need a little nudge to get on out there and do exactly the statement that you just said. I do this for Jesus.
Well, there's a point in your life when you have to realize that what you do, you have to find a reason for it. And so I sought that reason. And fortunately, I was able to understand what my calling was. Sometimes we do things and we don't know why we do them, but we have to continue to search and find the reasons. And I found the reason. God gave me the answer. And this is what you're supposed to do. Bring this music to the world and let them hear about me from a gospel music perspective. And that's what I did. And thank God for it. And I'm still doing it just like I always did. Going right now to present gospel music.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
And I haven't wavered at all from what it is that I'm supposed to do. You know, I have 3 doctorate degrees, and I could be an educator or I could have been doing some other things. But no, I stayed with gospel music as a servant of the Lord to present this music to the world.
Determined to serve him. I love that about you. I love that about you. There is a song by a young man. I remember I was asking you, I said, what are some songs that you like? And you just called out a name to me, Jovan Bender. And when I went to look at his Someday It Will All Be Over with Bobby Jones and the Nashville Super Choir, it just caught my heart. I mean, it was like a rush and like that, you know, just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, he's a great singer. So you have that song?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. You just got everything by me, don't you? And I love it. But you always were very thorough in whatever you were doing. And, you know, to get this conversation with me today, you're being very thorough, and I appreciate it. Now, what about Jovan?
Tell us a little bit about the young man and the song, because we're getting ready to put that song in the spotlight for our audience.
Oh, great. Okay.
So tell us a little bit about what the song is about. Someday It Will All Be Over.
Yeah, that wasn't an original. We took that from someone, but the way Jovan presents it, kind of like we do that sometimes with people's homegoing. One day it'll all be over. We'll join hands together someday. That means when we get to heaven. Someday we'll see our master's face, and it will be all right. Whatever we went through will be all right, because someday all of that will be past. It's kind of like matching a song that we do called There Will Be Glory After This. Well, someday it'll all be over has the same connotation. After we leave this life, there will be a better position because we'll be with Jesus. So that's what that song was all about.
Looking forward to it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Source Nation. Let's take a listen to Bobby Jones and the Nashville Super Choir with lead vocalist Jovan Bender. Someday It Will All Be Over.
Thank you, Teresa.
All right, Bobby.
Are all I need.
All right, all right. Beautiful, beautiful, Dr. Jones. That was beautiful.
Well, thank you. Yeah, he's a great singer. I have a whole lot of great singers that sing in the super choir.
How do you do that? How do you get all these great folks?
Well, they just come. They just come out of nowhere, seemingly. I have 6 former Jubilee singers in the choir now, and people don't know about Fisk, maybe, and the Jubilee singers that created that, have to save that university, Fisk University.
Yes.
Yeah, raising
Richie
money
Hurst.
for it.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
they were.
One of the
They
six
were
for the Queen of
specialty
England.
group.
Yes. Yes, they were.
Yeah,
They are.
you
Yes.
got that right.
Tradition continues.
Okay. So yeah,
You know what?
they just come, Teresa.
All right. Okay. I'm having so much fun. I don't want to let you go. I know that you're busy and there's so much going on. I'm going to be calling you back and bugging you about some other things, but I don't want you to leave without you sharing with us some special things that may be coming up or some things that you want Source Nation to know.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Well, every third Sunday in the month, we have what we call Music Matinee, where we honor various people in our community. They're kind of like a who's who. So we do that in Nashville, Tennessee, and honor them, and the super choir does the musical, and then we bring other artists in to perform as well. And we take that for our television show. And then on some Saturdays, we have an all-day show where people come in from all over the country, and we have about 26 groups to perform, and I have some co-hosts that come and join me on that, Merdine Gales, Chuck Spearman, and Terry Gold. They come to help me with that. That's done probably every other month or so. And now we're getting ready to open from one of the Civil Rights Movement locations where the sit-ins first started in Nashville, Tennessee, and it's called Woolworth. Woolworth on Fifth Avenue. And we're getting ready to open there. Yeah. The first Sunday in June, we'll be opening at Woolworth, and we'll be doing traditional gospel music from that period of the 60s. And I'm really happy about that.
That is
So, and I think the greatest thing that I'm looking forward to is my installation into the Smithsonian African American Museum in Washington, D.C. I'm really excited about that. And also in the African American Museum in Nashville, Tennessee, getting ready to be installed in both of those museums.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent, excellent. So,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jones, for those out there listening that may want to have you come to their church or for some sort of special event, or even young and upcoming artists who are looking for an opportunity, how would they contact you?
Well, my website is a good conduit for it. It's BobbyJonesPresents.com, and all of the contact information is there. If they want to be on the TV show, the information is there as well. That's BobbyJonesPresents.com. And in case you want to know how to reach us by phone, I'll give you that number. It's 615-750-3426.
That's 615-750-3426. And, of course, go to his website and BobbyJonesPresents.com. Dr. Jones, I'm so proud of all of these honors that are still coming your way that the Lord God himself has placed in your life. He's such a wonderful God, and I just love him, and I know that you love him too.
Yeah, and I got another big lift today. I'm talking with Teresa Hannah. See, I put that in the rankings of whatever God has in store. So congratulations to you and what you're doing now. And our work together over the years has brought us a long way. And I want you to know that I appreciate it. I appreciate the time that you've given me to share with you today. I don't take that for granted.
Thank you, and I appreciate it, too, and I'm just so glad to be talking to you. So glad I'm here today with you, and I just love you.
Well, back at you, okay? And if you ever talk to Tommy Lewis, tell him about the opportunity that we had to share today.
I certainly will.
And all of your children, because those are my girls.
I know. Your Uncle Bobby. Let's see. There's Elena. There's Nitra. And there's Laurie.
Yeah.
and you know, Nitra was the one that pulled the Christmas tree down on us. I'm thinking it was 70.
It was 78.
78?
Yeah, 1978. Yeah.
The Christmas tree came down on you, just hit your head, and I remember you raising up and saying, "Is the baby all right?" I'm like, "Yes, it was." It's wonderful to see that.
Yeah, interesting times. Interesting times. Well, yeah, tell all of them I said hello, and I certainly do appreciate having the opportunity. Okay.
Thank you. Was there anything else you want to leave for our audience? You want to say anything to your many, many fans and supporters?
Just tell them to keep me in their prayers and pray that all of us can continue to do God's work that lifts up the kingdom. And I would appreciate that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You have been listening to In the Spotlight with Teresa Hannah and my very special guest, Dr. Bobby Jones. I tell you, it's just been a wonderful show and wonderful opportunity to share. I am just so happy about it. You can follow me on social network, Facebook and Twitter. And also, I want to remind you that if you would like for me to come and host a special event or be with you or cover an event, you can contact my management team. That's Axe Management, Felicia Knight, 404-432. 7648. That's 404-432-7648. Or you can email actmanagement@live.com. So this is for information if you need to book me or you have a very special event from your organization or your church, or if you need me for voiceovers or for whatever you need me for, contact. And also, Teresa Hannah and Associates, the reason why I'm here, a lovely group of young professional ladies. We call them the personality architects. That's what they do. They help you with your personality. We design personalities. We elevate and supervise rising, up-and-coming new stars' careers. We also construct projects. So if you have a special project and say, I don't know what to do, well, you can call Teresa Hannah and Associates. You can call Nitra at 615-636-0657 or email me, teresahannahinfo@gmail.com. This has been just a special time, just a special day. I just want to say God bless you real good. And I want to say to Dr. Jones, thank you so much for being my guest in the spotlight. You are a special man, and I'm just asking God to continue to bless your life and your career and everything that you put your hands on. And I just want to say to you, Source Nation, may God bless you real good. And I also want to send a shout-out to Kathy B. and the wonderful work that she's doing with Source Radio Network, because this business is just booming, and the lady that God has in charge is just one. She's got her hands to the wheel, and she's a leader, and she's a guider, and she is a woman of wisdom as well as influence. So we just send a shout-out to Kathy B. and also to Tracy Jeffcoat for the wonderful work that they're doing. Well, with that being said, may God bless you real good. I love you. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah is your host, let's go. In the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, the spotlight, in the spotlight, the spotlight, with Teresa Hannah. Hannah is your host, let's go. If you wanna be in the know, in the spotlight is where to go. Industry celebrities of every kind. Teresa Hannah.